All right, so this goes over how to do exponential functions in ALEKS. And some of these examples will appear on your quiz and then your test. So make sure that you understand how to do these. So here we can see the zombie apocalypse. It starts out day 1 with a zombie. Day 2 is 2 zombies, then 4, then 8. Then by day 100, how many zombies would you have? That is an exponential function. It is multiplying by a factor of 2. So that would be our common ratio. 1 would be our initial value. So let's move forward. All right, so a radioactive substance, cesium-137, has a half-life of 30 years, which means every 30 years, half of it decays. The amount AT in grams of a sample of cesium-137 remaining after T years is given by the following exponential function. So that's a whole lot of information just to tell you, look right here at this equation. It says find the amount of the sample remaining after 20 years and after 100 years. So what we're looking for is just literally plugging in the numbers. So this is really just about plugging in the numbers and knowing where they go. So I'm going to use this 523 times 1/2. And then it says T over 30. T means time. And they gave us time. They said 20 years. So we're going to pop 20 there. And then you're just going to put this whole thing into your calculator. Pop it in. And get an answer. So let's do that. The yellow calculator is really great for this. Any scientific calculator will work. Let's see. Sorry, it's taking me a minute. All right, so I've got an answer for us of 329.46935545. So a very long number. We need to make sure it says where it says to round to our nearest gram. So we're going to, so the answer was 329.469. Now the nearest gram is here at 9 in the ones place. So I would look at 4 and see, will it change 9? Since 4 is less than 5, it will not change 9. So this would just be 329, which is what I would write in. And then it wants us to do it for 100. So same process. We're just plugging this in. 523 to the times 1/2, right, over 100 over 30, right, to the 100 over 30. So again, this is just about plugging in the number and then putting it in the correct place. Right, putting that in my calculator, and I get 51.88. All right. Now, nearest gram would be here, 1. Does the 8 change the 1? Because 8 is bigger than 5, it does, so this would be 52. All right. Easy peasy lemon squeezy. Let's move forward. All right. If the rate of inflation is 2.8% per year, and the future P of T in dollars of a certain item can be modeled by the following function, where T is the number of years from today, find the current price of the item and the price of the item 9 years from now. All right, so this is again just putting things in, just plugging in numbers. So we're doing years. T in time is years. So it starts out, we have $800. And inflation would mean what about the price of this? So this product costs $800. In T years, how much will it cost? So if we're doing the price of the item today, current price of the item, that is currently at 0 years. So this is our initial value. So plug this into your calculator, or you can know that everything to the 0 power equals 1. So this literally just means 800 times 1, which is equal to 800. So the current price is 800. You can type that in. Again, in 9 years, how much it would be. Now we would do the same thing, but instead of 0 years, we would put 9 there. All right, plug that in. 800 times 1.028 to the 9th power. All right, so in 9 years, that would be 1,025.718. Now it says round our answers to the nearest dollar. So our dollar amount would be 5. Does the 7 round the 5? And the answer to that is yes. So this would be 1,226. Since 7 is bigger than the number 5, it would round the number in front of it up 1. Moving forward. All right, so here we have a graph, and then we have a lot of questions that it wants to ask about the graph. So let's read. A company made a change in its advertising. Suppose the company's monthly revenue in thousands of dollars X months after the change can be modeled with an exponential function. The graph of the function is shown below. Use the model to answer the parts. Guys, big fat hint, this is on your quiz, this type of question. All right, so we've got here we start at $50,000. We increase over time, and we hit this plateau here, which means we're not really going to be able to make above this amount. So what is the y-intercept of the graph? We look, we find it crosses the y at 50. So we would type in 50. All right, the y-intercept represents what? And you would click on this button here, and we would say $50,000 for 0 months. So it should say something like that. For the first 10 months, as time increases, the monthly revenue does what? So from here to here, so from here to here, what's happening? It's going to say increases, decreases, stays the same. It's going to be increases as well. So this graph is increasing as time increases. Give the equation of the asymptote. They already wrote y equals. All you have to do is write the number. The asymptote is the place where the graph cannot move forward. It doesn't move any higher. It just bottoms out. So that would be 250. Choose the statement that best describes the meaning of the asymptote. So the asymptote, so we know time in months, as x moves forward, time in months, we increase our revenue in thousands of dollars. So the company will only stay in business for 20 months. Doesn't really make sense. The company's monthly revenue does not rise above $250,000 per month. Possibly. The company's monthly revenue does not fall below $50,000 per month. So the answer to C is this one. It's the only way. So we can't rise above $250,000 per month. And clearly our graph shows that it's not going to go above that asymptote line. Last example is here. All right, so same idea. A company made a change in its advertising. Suppose the company's monthly revenue in thousands of dollars X months after the change can be modeled with an exponential function. The graph of this function is shown below. Use the model to answer the parts to the right. So again, what's happening? So it starts here. It hits this ceiling here. So what is the y-intercept? The y-intercept is here at 20. What does it represent? It represents $20,000 for 0 months. Okay. For the first 10 months, as time increases, the monthly revenue is also increasing. So I can see here's 10 months. This graph is moving up. And it still moves up, but it's kind of just flattening out there. Okay? So it is increasing. Give the equation of the asymptote. Y equals 100. Choose the statement that best describes the meaning of the asymptote. Okay, so the company will stay in business for 20 months. not the answer. The company's monthly revenue does not rise above $1,000 per month. Sounds reasonable. The company's monthly revenue does not fall below $20,000 per month. It doesn't look like that it does, but when it asks us to describe the meaning of the asymptote is 100. So we wouldn't talk about that number. We would only talk about the 100 because it's asking us directly about the asymptote. All right. So now you're going to go on ALEKS and you are going to complete the assignment that is provided there. Ask questions.